In our last video, we have understand what is RTK. Okay. In this video, we will use Zustand. Okay. And we'll try to compare between these two, what is changed and when to select which one and which is better. Okay. So coming to Zustand, right? So this is our previous RTK project structure. Okay. So we used to have one store.ts files and we can have n number of features, and these types are okay, and these components. So basically this is common everywhere. It is a code snippet, and we are using the providers in case of main.tsx file. Coming to Zustand, the code structure will become very minimal. Okay, we no need again like a features and store.ts file. We will be going to have only one ts file, or even we can have multiple for different kind of store.ts file. Okay, we don't need these features as well now. So to install Zustand, we need to run a command like npm install Zustand. Okay, so let me go directly to this file employee store.ts. Okay, so this is the file I have added. So we can remove this file. This is no more needed. Just to compare, I just hold it here to make compare it with the RTK. But only one file we need in case of Zustand, which is like a employee store.ts file. Let's say. Okay, what this file is doing? If you see, we have just imported a method called create from the Zustand. Zustand provides us a method named create. We have created one const. We give it is like a hook. Okay, we have given a name like use employee store. To use employee store, we are using this Zustand create method. We are passing which kind of interface it is, right? So different kind of methods. So one is like employees, which kind of it's an array, right? Array of object where we have this employee types decide already. So that is what. So in employee store interface, we have employees, add employees, delete employees. These two are nothing but these are the methods. This method requires as a param as an employee. This requires as a id as a number. Okay, so this interface is very clear. Now with the help of Zustand create method, we are creating one hook use employee store, and it gives us a method inside. We will get it as a set. This is important, this set. Okay, we are going to use this set to update the state. So again here this employees will be nothing but is our initial state. Okay, same like our RTK also. And in add employee, whenever this add employee execute, we will be getting as an employee as an object array. Okay, and we are using this set method which will update our state. The previous value will be updated with the new one using the spread operator, and in the case of delete, again we are filtering with the help of id. So this is the only one file we need here. Okay, now we will see its usage. So we can simply delete this store.ts file. It is not needed. It is for RTK we have created. We don't need these features files. We don't need this Redux file. Only one file, which is employee store.ts file. And with the help of Zustand create method, we are setting up our store. Okay, these are our default value. These are the methods which we written in reducer in earlier cases, which help us to update the store values. Clear? Now let me show you the again app dot. One more important thing, sorry. So main.tsx file, even you remember, right? Earlier we used to add the providers from the React Redux, right? Now we don't need even the providers here. Okay, provider is also not needed. Only just a simple employee store.ts file we have used here. Now coming to the usage, I am going to app.tsx file. Simple, same header, Header does not have anything, it is just an employee management. Then again add employee. In the case of add employee, again it's a form with input value, name, department, button. Now on click of save employee, now at that time we are using a method called dispatch, right, from the use dispatch hook. Here what we are doing, simply we are calling this add employee method here by passing the updated values from the form. How this add employee work is, initially this is important, we imported our use employee store which we have created here, and from use employee store we are getting this method add employee. Okay, and we are passing our values. Clear? Similarly, this is for the add, right? Similarly, for case of delete, on click we are calling the delete employee method. We did the same things, we imported our use employee store here, and delete employee is nothing but use employee store dot this action delete employee we have mentioned there in this store. Okay, we are passing the id, and based on that it will do its manipulation. Clear? So we passed here the id. So instead of use dispatch, now the change is here, we are using a direct imports from the employee our store, and that method we are passing the state. Similar here. Okay, so we already told in this store file which kind of method it is. When we click add employees, what we are passing, and when we click on delete employee, what we are passing. That's all we need. Then we can see one more thing is like employee list, right? So we display again here the initial state values, or whenever we are updating Suresh IT add employees work similarly, and we can delete here. Again what we are doing, we are just importing the use employee store, and this employee holds the latest values from the state, and this is what we have mentioned here. Okay, it will return you the employees object which will be the latest. So this if you see this code snippet, right, it is very small now as compared to previous now in all the cases, right? And we are just using one file majorly, which is nothing but use employee store. Similarly, you can create n number of store.ts file for user for different, and it is very easy to understand and use it. So create method and create method and use employee store we will import, and directly we will hit the actions. Okay, state.delete employee. Hope this is understandable. So what we can do is um, we will try to compare now once the RTK versus Zustand, what is changed. Okay, let me delete this also so that it won't confuse. Only app.store is needed, feature is not needed, and this Redux also not needed. Okay, so only one file, employee store.ts. Still my app is working fine. Okay, so coming to comparison, so Redux toolkit versus Zustand. So in case of Redux toolkit, we are having a React component which triggers an action using a use dispatch. We are having a create slice. We can create n number of create slice for different kind of usage. We will have a method configure store. Okay, and Redux store is the one which contains the data which can be transferred to throughout the component. It will be the global store. okay, source of truth, and with the help of use selector we read the values from the store. Okay, correct. Now in Justand it become very smaller. We are using a one file, just use employee store. It only have the state actions, and it will only help to do the component render. So it's having very less code, minimum boilerplate code. No provider, we don't need a provider. In this case even we need to use the provider from the Redux. It does not need any provider, no dispatch, no reducer, very small bundle size. It is very lightweight also. Okay, and it's very easy, right? Only just one file. Even for a new person it will be very easy to learn and use. But still some scenarios we will go for RTK. When we need to go for RTK, when the application is a somewhat large application. Okay, and we need to do a more state management, and we need to do the debug. So here this dev tool is very powerful in case of Redux toolkit. In Chrome you can compare what is the previous state values, what is your current state values, with this action what happened, with the next action what happened. So you can perform very good debugging if you use the RTK. That's why in big applications we prefer still this. It's having some middleware support, which we are going to learn in our upcoming videos. What are those middleware? And even RTK queries it will support, the way of calling the APIs. Okay, it supports additionally, and it's good for the enterprise scale ready application it used to create. So basically for big applications we choose RTK. Okay, and we can see some difference here. Providers, yes, we need to use in RTK, we don't need to use in Justand. Dispatch is there, no. Here selector, we need to use a use selector. Here directly we will import the store and use it, our hook. Okay, boilerplate is medium. In first case, our this classic Redux too much code, then it got reduced, it is come to medium, and boilerplate code is very low in case of Justand. And learning curve medium, this is very easy. Middleware support, yes, as I told we will discuss future. So it is having some additional middleware support here also there, but it is very limited. So that is what RTK and Justand.